Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered what lies on the edge of survival in the wild forests? Today, Lion Farm will plunge you into the breathtaking moments of aerial feral hog hunting, where every second explodes with drama. Are you ready to explore? Feral hogs cause an estimated economic damage of $1.50 to $2,500,000,000, 0 cents annually in the United States, mainly by destroying crops, land, water sources, and competing with native wildlife. In Texas alone, agricultural losses from feral hogs amount to about $400 million, 0 cents per year, according to a 2023 report from the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Did you know that in just a few seconds, a single bullet from a helicopter can change the fate of an entire field? Aerial feral hog hunting is most common in states like Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Florida, where feral hog populations grow rapidly. This activity typically uses helicopters, with costs ranging from $500, 0 cents, to $2, 0 cents per flight hour, depending on the service provider. According to a 2022 USDA study, aerial hunting accounts for about 15–20% of the total feral hogs eliminated annually in Texas, equivalent to tens of thousands of hogs each year. A 2023 report from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, TPWD, states that approximately 30 to 40 feral hogs are killed through aerial hunting in Texas every year. A 2024 study from Auburn University indicates that aerial feral hog hunting can temporarily reduce hog densities in a specific area by 50%. but populations often recover within 6-12 months without additional control measures like trapping or ground hunting. In Oklahoma, the state's aerial wildlife management program reported eliminating about 10,000 feral hogs annually through aerial hunting from 2020 to 2023, but this only reduced the total hog population in the region by about 10%. Aerial feral hog hunting is not only a control measure but also a business. Companies like Helibacon and Cedar Ridge Aviation in Texas offer aerial hunting services, attracting both tourists and hunters. A 2-3-hour hunting trip can generate $5,000, 0 cents, to $10, 0 cents in revenue for providers. However, the high costs make this method impractical for small farms, leading to reliance on state or federal subsidy programs. The USDA allocates about $20 million, 0 cents, annually to feral hog control programs, with a portion dedicated to aerial hunting. According to the National Wildlife Management Center, about 60–70% of feral hog control programs in the United States use trapping as part of an integrated strategy. Trapping is favored because it poses less risk to humans and avoids harming native wildlife. Aerial feral hog hunting sparks debates about the ethics of wildlife control. Some animal rights organizations, like PETA, oppose the method, arguing it is cruel and ineffective in the long term. Conversely, scientists and farmers support it for its economic and environmental benefits. These discussions encourage critical thinking about the balance between conservation and human intervention. Aerial hunting is only a temporary solution, and data shows it cannot fully address the feral hog problem. This drives communities to seek more sustainable methods, such as improving smart traps, using hog-specific chemicals, or restoring natural predators. Aerial feral hog hunting in the United States is a critical tool in the fight against this invasive species, with data showing tens of thousands of hogs eliminated each year, helping reduce economic and environmental damage. Trapping feral hogs in the United States is an effective, sustainable, and more humane method compared to many others. While there are no precise nationwide statistics on the number of hogs caught by traps, studies and reports from states like Texas and Florida highlight trapping as a vital tool in controlling this invasive species. However, the educational value of this activity lies in raising awareness about the consequences of invasive species, fostering ethical thinking, and inspiring innovative, sustainable solutions. By combining real-world data and educational programs, we can turn the Feral Hog Challenge into an opportunity to learn and protect ecosystems more effectively. We hope today's video gave you a thrilling and memorable experience of feral hog hunting. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the Lion Farm channel, and share it with your friends to support us. Goodbye, and see you next time. Hello everyone. Do you know which enemy is silently devastating vast cornfields, causing millions of dollars in damage and pushing agriculture to the brink of collapse? It's the wild boar, an invasive nightmare for farmers. How can they be stopped? What strategies have farmers devised to fight back? Join Lion Farm today as we uncover the mystery of this dangerous animal. Deforestation has severely impacted the natural habitat of wildlife. As forests shrink, wild boars are forced to migrate in search of food, often invading farms and causing significant damage to crops. According to estimates from the United States Department of Agriculture, wild boars have inflicted severe losses on the country's corn industry. These damages include yield loss, control costs, and property destruction. The worsening deforestation crisis has only escalated conflicts between humans and these animals. With strong survival instincts, wild boars frequently ravage cornfields, breaking stalks and trampling crops nearing harvest. Their invasions not only ruin crops but also intensify farmers' concerns about their livelihoods. The damage occurs rapidly as wild boars move in herds. These losses directly threaten corn production and farmers' incomes. During harvest season, many farmers are horrified to find wild boars trapped in the cutting blades of harvesters. An even more alarming sight as the animals are flung out with severe injuries across their bodies. Despite strict control measures implemented by the United States government, including hunting programs, wild boar attacks remain a persistent and challenging issue to fully manage. Several dangerous incidents have occurred when wild boars unexpectedly attacked hunters. One notable case involved a massive 240-pound boar charging directly at a group of hunters in the forest. The aggressive animal rushed at them with terrifying speed, but fortunately, the hunters managed to dodge in time. Their quick reflexes saved their lives in this tense encounter. To handle such unpredictable situations, hunters must strictly follow safety rules. They need to be equipped with powerful defensive weapons, but more importantly, they must master shooting skills and understand safe distance estimation when facing wild boars. Additionally, hunters should always operate in groups and prepare thoroughly for unexpected attacks. In the United States, hunters must obtain a valid license to hunt wild boars. To qualify, they must complete training courses on wildlife management and hunting safety to ensure ethical hunting practices. Hunting is only allowed outside residential areas and within designated conservation zones to maintain fairness and humane treatment. It is strictly prohibited to target pregnant wild boars or piglets. Hunters must also fine-tune their equipment, including firearms and scopes, to ensure high accuracy in extreme weather conditions. Adjusting elevation and shooting angles is crucial to achieving optimal performance in the field. Group hunting not only enhances safety in dangerous situations, but also helps hunters develop patience, teamwork, and valuable skills. A typical hunting group consists of 5 to 7 members to ensure adequate support for one another. The goal of hunters is not just to control the wild boar population, but also to contribute to ecological balance. They collect data on species density and distribution to support conservation efforts. Next, let's explore a massive and powerful animal from Africa. The giant elephants, weighing an average of 5.4 tons, can collide with vehicles, causing severe traffic congestion and significant damage to cars. Timely intervention by the authorities is crucial to addressing this situation. For a long period, elephant hunting in Africa has been strictly prohibited. The ban, lasting 7 years, aims to protect resources and minimize risks to elephants and other wildlife. Hunters must have experience dealing with invasive elephants to avoid danger from their size and speed. Taking down an elephant requires precision and knowledge of its weak points. The optimal targeting areas include the head, particularly sensitive spots like the eyes, forehead, or ears. However, a direct shot to the center of the head does not guarantee an immediate takedown, often requiring multiple shots to achieve the goal. Hunters must undergo specialized training to develop this skill. The environment for hunting invasive elephants is highly dangerous, with frequent encounters with hyenas and other wild animals. Hunters must obtain a government-issued hunting license and be at least 18 years old to participate in this hazardous activity. Local residents and hunters strictly comply with regulations prohibiting the hunting of pregnant elephants and calves. Violators of licensing rules face severe penalties. Elephant tusks play a crucial role in a hunter's targeting strategy. With an average height of about 3 meters, invasive elephants can pose significant challenges for hunters without proper support. Traveling by car across rough terrain helps hunters save time and energy when reaching hunting areas. The hunting of invasive elephants is highly controversial and does not receive widespread public support. Some argue that reducing the elephant population could lead to excessive growth of grasslands and vegetation, increasing competition among other wildlife species. Additionally, gunfire from hunting activities can negatively impact the ecosystem, disrupting natural tranquility and causing stress to non-target species. Now we move on to the most anticipated segment of the video, the audience Q&A. One viewer asked, "What methods are available to control crocodiles in the United States?" Lionfarm channel will now answer your question. The American alligator is a top predator in the food chain, inhabiting swamps and rivers in the southern United States. To control alligator populations, authorities implement various effective measures including regulated hunting, commercial farming, and habitat management. Each year, states like Florida, Louisiana, and Texas issue hunting permits during designated seasons to help maintain population balance. Additionally, alligator farming is a thriving industry, especially in Louisiana, where millions are raised for their skin and meat, reducing pressure on wild populations. Authorities also enforce environmental management programs, limiting alligator expansion near residential areas. By controlling food sources and relocating dangerous individuals, some states allow residents to report large or aggressive alligators, so officials can capture and relocate them. Through a combination of ecological and economic management, American alligators are effectively conserved while minimizing human-wildlife conflict. Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in the mysterious forests of Florida, United States? Today we're embarking on an action-packed adventure. Don't blink, because in just a split second, you'll be drawn into breathtaking moments you won't want to miss. Join Lionfarm now and get ready to be amazed. Wild boars in Florida cause significant damage to agriculture and the natural environment. According to a report by the University of Florida, UF/IFAS, they inflict over $800 million in damage annually across the United States, with Florida accounting for a substantial portion. They destroy crops, uproot soil leading to erosion, and contaminate water sources. According to estimates from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, FDAC, the state currently has between 500,000 to 1 million wild boars, ranking second in the United States, just behind Texas. With an astonishing reproduction rate, a single female can give birth to 6-12 piglets per litter, up to 2-3 times a year. The wild boar population grows uncontrollably, causing serious environmental and economic problems. Florida has a unique wild boar hunting policy. There are no seasonal restrictions and no hunting licenses required on private land with the landowner's consent. On public land, hunters only need a basic license with no limits on the number or size of boars they can hunt. This reflects the severity of the wild boar issue, as they are classified as invasive species and are not protected like native wildlife. In 2017, a hunter in Florida shot a massive 800-pound wild boar in Liberty County, one of the largest ever recorded in the state. This enormous animal highlights the species' rapid growth in an environment without natural predators. In 2021, a group of hunters in the Ocala forest used hunting dogs and firearms to capture a 600-pound wild boar. Do you dare step into a place where 100-pound beasts lurk in the shadows? Florida has held wild boar hunting competitions to encourage population control. For example, the Hog Wild Challenge in Polk County in 2022 saw over 200 wild boars eliminated in a single weekend, with prizes worth thousands of dollars for the most successful teams. To combat the issue, Florida authorities have launched incentive programs for wild boar hunting. The Feral Hog Control Program collaborates with hunters and landowners to remove thousands of wild boars each year. In 2023, it was estimated that around 10,000 wild boars were eliminated through these efforts, an impressive figure demonstrating the severity of the problem. Wild boar hunting has become a significant economic activity in Florida, attracting both domestic and international hunters. Many hunting tour companies offer various packages, such as two-day hunting packages. Prices range from $500 to $1,500, including a guide, accommodations, and opportunities to hunt at least 1-2 wild boars. Some private hunting ranches in Central Florida report welcoming hundreds of clients annually, generating millions of dollars in revenue. Wild boars are a prime example of how invasive species affect ecosystems and economies. Understanding them helps communities recognize the importance of controlling and managing invasive species. They compete for food and habitat with native wildlife, leading to a decline in native populations. Controlling wild boars helps protect biodiversity and ecological balance. Despite large-scale hunting efforts, experts estimate that at least 70% of the wild boar population must be eliminated annually to prevent further growth. A nearly impossible task with current methods. This underscores the severity and scale of Florida's wild boar problem. Wild boar hunting in Florida is not just a recreational activity, it is also a crucial effort to protect the ecosystem and economy. With their massive numbers, record-breaking sizes, and destructive impact, wild boars have become a unique phenomenon in the state, making their control a widely discussed topic. Hello everyone! Have you ever imagined a day when millions of ferocious wild boars overrun the land, growling as they destroy crops and threaten the peaceful lives of American farmers? A relentless battle is unfolding where humans must face these dangerous four-legged invaders. What mystery lies behind this wild boar menace? Join Lionfarm as we uncover this thrilling and unexpected story right now. In the untamed wilderness of the United States, wild boars are more than just ordinary animals. They stand out with their impressive size and fierce appearance, making anyone think twice before approaching. A fully grown wild boar can measure between 3 to 6 feet in length. Their muscular, heavy bodies can weigh over 660 pounds, depending on their habitat and food availability. Their thick fur helps them withstand harsh weather conditions and defend against predators lurking deep in the forest. Wild boars are omnivores, and their appetite knows no bounds. From small seeds, ripe fruits, and thick wild grass, to small animals like insects and frogs. Everything is on their menu. When hunting season begins, farmers and hunters in the United States stand together, determined to push back the wild boar threat. They not only protect their crops, but also safeguard the ecosystem from the destruction caused by these animals. However, completely eliminating wild boars is no easy task. They are fast, cunning, and incredibly adaptable. Skilled hunters often target the larger boars with tender, flavorful meat, reducing the herd size while also providing food for their families. This is not just a way to protect the land, but also a cost-saving solution during tough times. But did you know? In a time of increasing food shortages, wild boars are not only a menace, but also an unexpected resource. If properly prepared, wild boar meat rivals livestock meat in taste and nutrition. However, the cost of letting them roam freely far outweighs these short-term benefits. Imagine this scene. Herds of wild boars charging through golden cornfields or lush green wheat, using their sharp hooves and powerful jaws to dig up and destroy everything in their path. The damage they cause is not just a ruined harvest, but also the heartbreak of farmers who have poured their sweat and tears into planting those crops. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, wild boars cause up to $2.5 billion in agricultural losses each year. A staggering figure. Not only corn and wheat, but also soybeans, potatoes, and many other crops become easy prey for these destructive animals. In Texas, the state hit hardest by wild boar invasions. People refuse to stand by and watch. They have developed unique and highly effective trapping methods. Instead of relying on firearms or dangerous poisons, they use thin mesh nets combined with 5 to 8 stakes to secure the traps. When wild boars step into the baited area, usually filled with corn or wheat they love, the system automatically closes, trapping them without causing significant harm to the natural landscape. This is a testament to human intelligence and responsibility in protecting the environment. Some places have adopted more modern steel traps. When wild boars are drawn in by the scent of food, the trapdoors automatically shut, capturing the entire herd without requiring direct human intervention. However, for these traps to be most effective, professional management is essential. The team in charge must be thoroughly trained, regularly inspect and maintain the traps to ensure the safety of both people and other animals. The battle against wild boars is not just the concern of farmers or hunters. It requires the collective effort of the entire community and local authorities. Beyond hunting and trapping, scientists in the United States are researching more effective methods. These are long-term solutions that promise sustainability for both the environment and the economy. Furthermore, community education plays a crucial role. People need to understand that while wild boars can be a source of emergency food, allowing them to breed freely is a double-edged sword, protecting crops, preventing disease outbreaks, and preserving the ecosystem. These are complex challenges that only unity can resolve. Wild boars are not just a distant issue for the United States. They serve as a lesson for all of us on how to coexist harmoniously with nature and take responsibility for ecosystem preservation. This journey is not just about combating a single species. It is also a story of resilience, innovation, and the spirit of solidarity among people. Now, let's move on to the most anticipated part of the video, the audience Q&A section. A viewer asked, besides wild boars, which animal causes the most damage to American farmers' cornfields? Lionfarm channel would like to answer your question. Apart from wild boars, the animal that causes the most damage to American farmers' cornfields is the white-tailed deer. This species is widespread across North America, with an estimated population in the tens of millions. Due to their omnivorous diet and high adaptability, white-tailed deer frequently invade cornfields in search of an easy food source, especially during the early growing stages or when the corn has already developed ears. They not only consume the leaves but also bite through young stalks, significantly reducing harvest yields. According to reports from the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, the damage caused by white-tailed deer to the agricultural sector amounts to hundreds of millions of dollars annually. To mitigate these impacts, farmers often use electric fences, hunting dogs, or population control methods through legal hunting. However, with the deer population continuing to grow and limitations in preventive measures, this remains a major challenge for crop farming, especially in states like Iowa, Illinois, and Ohio, where corn is a staple crop. We hope today's video has helped you understand more about the solutions the United States government is implementing to combat wild boars. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends to support Lionfarm. See you next time. Hello everyone, can you believe that right now a feral hog army is silently wreaking havoc across the United States, causing billions of dollars in damage and leaving people alarmed? Join Lionfarm on a journey to uncover the secrets behind this powerful and mysterious creature. Dramatic stories await you ahead. Feral hogs originated from Asia and Europe. Research shows they came from East Asia, specifically southeastern China, and later spread to other parts of Asia and Europe. These hogs have an impressive year-round reproductive ability, peaking in late fall and winter. Their gestation period is about 115 days. A female can give birth to 4 to 12 piglets, averaging 5 to 6, depending on environment and food availability. This gives them a strong advantage in adapting to the wild. Feral hogs now form large populations, about 9 million, spanning multiple states across the United States. Forest vegetation alone can't sustain them, so they invade farms, causing serious damage to farmers. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, the annual damage to agriculture and related industries Hunting feral hogs with shotguns is common in the United States due to their effectiveness at close range. These hogs live in dense brush and thick forests where visibility is limited and shooting distances are short. Shotguns perform exceptionally well under these conditions, making them a powerful tool for population control. Moreover, shotguns are known for their stopping power when hunting large and strong animals like feral hogs, especially when using lead or other hunting-grade ammunition. Their stopping power ensures the animals are taken down quickly and humanely. Helicopter hunting, also known as aerial hunting, has become popular in certain areas of the United States, particularly in states facing severe problems with wild hogs. This method is considered highly effective in controlling hog populations due to its ability to cover vast areas quickly and access difficult terrain. Hunting from helicopters allows for rapid elimination of large numbers, especially in agricultural zones and heavily damaged environments. Hunters get close, shoot on sight, and reduce the chances of escape, making this a highly effective control method. In addition, from an environmental conservation perspective, hunters help protect natural habitats by reducing the destruction caused by feral hogs. Managing their population, hunters contribute to maintaining balance within the ecosystem. Let's move on to the next part of the video. Though they may appear solid and calm, hippos are actually among the most dangerous animals in Africa. They can move quickly, both on land and in water, and will attack when they feel threatened. Hippos are commonly found near rivers, lakes, and wetlands, where they spend most of their time submerged to cool their bodies. They are highly social animals, often living in herds and communicating through sounds and body gestures. In some African countries, hippos are considered one of the most dangerous animals due to their aggressive nature and potential to cause serious harm to people and the environment. As a result, several countries have implemented regulated hunting policies to protect communities and maintain ecological balance. To take part in hippo hunting, hunters must obtain special permits from wildlife authorities, such as the Department of Natural Resources to ensure that the hunt is conducted legally and under strict ethical guidelines. Legal hunting is tightly regulated to help preserve ecosystem balance and ensure that animal populations are not over-harvested. These programs also support local economies through tourism, hunting permits, while reducing damage caused by hippos to agriculture and communities. This controlled hunting policy is currently in place in countries such as Zambia, South Africa and Zimbabwe, where hippos often damage crops and infrastructure. Professional hunters typically use rifles or large-caliber weapons, chosen for their ability to penetrate the hippo's thick skin and massive body. A spotter signals the right moment to shoot, aiming for the heart or lungs to ensure a quick and humane takedown. When hippos are underwater, hunting becomes more challenging, as hunters must wait for the animal to surface for a clear shot. This requires patience and precise timing to ensure the bullet hits a vital spot. After each hunt, the results must be reported to local wildlife authorities. These agencies collect full data on the number of hippos taken and any incidents during the hunt. This reporting helps track the effectiveness of population control efforts and allows adjustments when necessary. Understanding hippo biology and habitat is crucial to ensure hunting does not harm their populations or negatively affect the ecosystems in which they play an important role. Next, we come to the most anticipated part of the video, audience Q&A. One viewer asked, after hunting hyenas in Africa, what do hunters do with the hyena carcass? Lionfarm is happy to answer. After hyenas are hunted in Africa, their carcasses are not as widely used as those of other animals, due to their biological traits and local customs. However, in some regions, hyena skins may be used to make cloaks or traditional clothing. In certain African cultures, hyena parts are believed to hold spiritual value and may be used in religious rituals or as protective charms. Additionally, Hyena teeth and bones are sometimes crafted into jewelry or handmade decorative items. However, hyena meat is rarely consumed due to its strong odor and the potential risk of disease transmission from wild animals. Hyena hunting must follow wildlife conservation regulations to ensure their populations in the wild are not endangered. Hello everyone! Did you know that Russian farmers are facing a fierce battle against wild boars? These animals are causing serious damage to crops and livelihoods. Join Lionfarm as we explore this challenging story. As natural food sources become scarce, wild boars often lead their herds into agricultural areas in search of food. This situation is especially evident in Russia, where the appearance of wild boars in cornfields has posed major challenges for agricultural agencies. Russian farmers have come up with a creative solution, raising hunting dogs to guard their cornfields from wild boars. These intelligent and brave dogs are trained to detect and chase away the boars, preventing them from entering and causing destruction. This method has proven effective in reducing damage, protecting crops, and maintaining productivity in the cornfields. Hunting wild boars by helicopter has become the most efficient method for hunters, thanks to the ability to quickly and safely reach boar-infested areas, especially in difficult terrains where traditional vehicles face many obstacles. Wild boar hunts usually take place early in the morning when the animals are most active and easier to spot. This is the ideal time for hunters to approach as the boars come out to forage. Hunters use rifles to ensure precision and effectiveness while minimizing harm to animals and danger to humans. This method enhances hunting efficiency and allows for safe, organized population control. It reduces the negative impact of wild boars on agriculture, where they destroy crops. At the same time, controlled hunting helps maintain ecological balance, ensuring the growing boar population does not affect other species. The final method of hunting wild boars involves using high-tech traps equipped with cameras, sensors, and solar power. These traps are connected to remote control systems, allowing hunters to monitor boars via their phones using modern camera technology. Hunters can track and manage the situation without being physically present. When trapped, wild boars often panic, run around chaotically, or crash into the trap walls trying to escape. Although this behavior makes management more difficult, with the right techniques and patience, these traps remain an effective tool for controlling wild boar populations, reducing agricultural damage, and protecting the environment. Next, we head to Mexico, where coyotes are causing serious damage to the local population. Each year, the Mexican government issues hunting permits to individuals with the skills and experience required for coyote hunting, an activity regulated under wildlife management programs. These permits are granted only after hunters meet strict training and skill assessment requirements. Hunting permits in Mexico come with strict regulations to protect the ecosystem and prevent overhunting. These include designated hunting zones, fixed seasons during the year, and legal methods such as using hunting rifles. The use of traps or other tools is prohibited to ensure sustainable coyote management. Additionally, the government enforces strict safety measures. All hunts must follow environmental protection rules and ensure the safety of participants. The goal is to strike a balance between wildlife conservation and the rights of those involved in this activity. Night hunting for coyotes can be effective due to their limited vision in the dark. However, hunters must strictly follow regulations to protect biodiversity. Though coyotes react more slowly at night, they are not easy targets. Hunters must prioritize safety, follow animal protection guidelines, and avoid disrupting the natural balance or endangering the species. In winter, coyotes move to lower areas in search of food, leaving tracks in the snow that are easy to follow. This gives hunters an advantage. They often use snowmobiles to navigate harsh terrain, reducing fatigue and risk, while improving safety and the ability to reach their targets efficiently. Many people argue that coyote hunting is cruel and call for more humane conservation methods. In response, the Mexican government requires hunters to collect the remains after hunting. This ensures accountability and provides data for research and species management, helping to balance hunting with wildlife protection. Coyote carcasses provide valuable data on health, age and population status, helping scientists develop effective conservation strategies. This information supports the Mexican government and conservation organizations in adjusting policies to ensure sustainable management, balancing wildlife protection with controlled hunting. Next, we come to the most anticipated part of the video, the Q&A section, where viewers ask and the channel answers. One viewer asked, "What is the largest species of python in the world, and where do they mainly live?" Lionfarm is happy to answer your question. The largest python species in the world is the South American anaconda. This giant snake is mainly found in the tropical rainforests and swamps of South America, especially in the rivers and streams of Venezuela, Brazil, and Colombia. Anacondas can grow to enormous sizes, reaching lengths of up to 30 feet and weighing as much as 550 pounds. What's fascinating about the anaconda is its excellent swimming ability. Thanks to its massive body and powerful constriction, it is well adapted to hunting underwater. Their primary diet includes large animals such as fish, big mammals, and occasionally even terrestrial wildlife. Despite their intimidating size, anacondas rarely attack humans. Most of the time, they simply search for food in their natural habitat. Amid the whiteout snow and bone-chilling cold, a mysterious hunt begins, where giant wild boars appear like phantoms deep in the forest. Are you ready to dive into heart-pounding chases and unbelievable moments? Join Lionfarm on this thrilling journey right now. According to reports from the Russian Hunting Association, around 50,000 to 70,000 wild boars are hunted across the country each year, with winter accounting for about 40% of that number. This is because wild boar tracks are easier to spot in the snow, making it easier for hunters to track them. Wild boars in Russia especially in Siberia, can grow to enormous sizes due to the rich ecological conditions. Unofficial sources from Russian hunting forums have shared stories of hunters taking down boars weighing between 660 to 770 pounds. Hunting in the snow is a long-standing tradition in Russia. It is often carried out using hunting dogs or on foot with rifles. Snow not only adds to the challenge, but also creates memorable records, as hunters must face freezing temperatures, sometimes dropping below 58 DGF in areas like Oymyakon. One remarkable case was recorded in Siberia in 2018, when a group of hunters brought down a 660-pound wild boar in 22 DGF conditions in the middle of a vast snowy field. This boar is considered one of the largest ever hunted in the region. Russia is well known for its large wild boars, especially the Ussuri wild boar subspecies, believed to be the largest, often weighing over 500 pounds. A notable case occurred in November 2015, when hunter Peter Maximov from Chelyabinsk took down a 500-pound wild boar in the Ural Mountains. Additionally, some unverified reports mention wild boars in Russia reaching record-breaking weights. For example, there is information about a 1,179-pound wild boar hunted by Peter Maximov in Chelyabinsk. In Kamchatka, during wild boar hunts with dogs, there are reports of a group of hunters taking down 10 wild boars within just 2 hours in 2020. This was achieved using snowmobiles and hunting dogs to drive the boars into a tight area, taking advantage of the deep snow to slow them down. According to reports from Russian hunting communities, in the Khabarovsk region, a group of hunters once recorded taking down over 50 wild boars in a single winter, typically between December and March, when the snow is thick. Research by the Wildlife Conservation Society, WPSS, shows that the success rate of hunting wild boars in the snow is about 60% higher than in other seasons. The reason is that snow clearly reveals tracks and limits the boar's ability to move quickly, making them easier targets. Over 80% of Russian hunters use semi-automatic rifles with 7.62 mm caliber bullets, suitable for taking down wild boars from distances of 160 to 320 feet on snowy terrain. Wild boar hunting in Russia is not just a survival or economic activity. It is also part of the culture and a unique experience in harsh natural conditions. Numbers like hundreds of thousands in population and tens of thousands hunted each year highlight the scale and impressive nature of this activity. Boar hunting in Russia also helps maintain ecological balance. However, if overdone, it could severely reduce the wild boar population and impact the food chain of predators like brown bears and wolves. Russia enforces strict hunting quotas, usually limiting the hunt to 10 to 15% of the population per year in any given area. Illegal hunting, which accounts for an estimated 5 to 10% of total boar kills, remains a concern that requires greater awareness. We hope today's video brings you impressive and enjoyable moments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends to support Lion Farm. Goodbye and see you next time. Hello everyone. Wild boars are large wild animals. Some massive ones weigh up to 1,100 pounds and are called wild boar monsters. They originate from Europe, Asia and North America. These creatures are aggressive and dangerous. So what have humans done to deal with them? Join Lion Farm as we explore how to handle giant wild boars in today's If you ever encounter a giant wild boar, the average person should turn and run fast for safety. But professional hunters don't run. They face them head-on. With weapons, skills, experience and courage, they turn these dangerous encounters into intense and challenging battles. Over the centuries, wild boars, especially hybrids of feral pigs and domestic pigs, have become major threats in many states across the United States. They destroy crops, damage ecosystems, spread diseases, and compete for food with deer, rabbits, and other wildlife. Their rapid reproduction and adaptability make the battle against them even more difficult. In Texas, Georgia, and Alabama, wild boar hunting is not just a sport, it's a major source of income for local economies. Hunting tournaments and professional hunting tours attract thousands of enthusiasts, including international tourists, turning this activity into a unique and growing industry. To control these dangerous animals, hunters use traps, night hunts, advanced firearms, and their most valuable partners, hunting dogs. Trained to track scents and work closely with their owners, these dogs help locate and approach wild boars quickly and accurately, boosting the chances of success during tense chases. But it's not always easy. To take down a wild boar running at high speed from a distance, hunters must have exceptional marksmanship, experience, and composure in life or death moments. You may be surprised to learn that wild boars can weigh over 1,100 pounds. For instance, a 1,110-pound monster was taken down in Alabama, one of the largest ever hunted in the United States. While they may resemble domestic pigs, these animals are incredibly destructive, capable of wrecking entire fields in just a few nights. At Spartan Reserve in southern Michigan, a 500-pound wild boar was taken down after a heart-pounding chase. In northeastern Carolina, a hunter dropped a 550-pound boar with a single shot in the dark. The image of the fallen beast deep in the forest stunned and impressed all who witnessed it. Some pigs weighing up to 850 pounds required forklifts and trailers to move. Just imagine the sheer power they possess. If this were in Vietnam, local pubs would probably be thrilled to see these giant pigs. But kidding aside, wild boars pose a serious threat if left unchecked, and hunting them must follow local laws, regulations, and especially ethical hunting practices. Night hunting, when wild boars are most active, is both dangerous and an opportunity to control their numbers. Hunters use thermal scopes and night vision goggles to detect them in the dark. This isn't a game. It requires knowledge, skill, preparation, and awareness. Beginners should never hunt alone. Always go with someone experienced. Beyond hunting, it's just as important to protect the environment you pass through. Clean up all trash, bullet casings, food wrappers, and water bottles. Leave no human trace in the forest. Nature is a place to experience, not to destroy. And finally, always remember, wild boars, while dangerous, are still a part of the ecosystem. We hunt to control, not to wipe them out. Maintaining natural balance, respecting life, and acting ethically are what distinguish a true hunter from a harmful intruder. Now, let's move on to the most anticipated part of the video, Q&A with our viewers. One viewer asked, "What do hunters do after hunting a bear?" Great question. Lion Farm is here to explain.
After successfully hunting a bear, hunters go through a series of important steps to ensure the animal is used to its fullest value and nothing goes to waste. First, they often take photos or film the hunt to preserve the memory and serve as legal proof of the activity. Next, the bear is either field dressed or transported to a processing area if conditions allow. Bear meat, especially the shoulders and thighs, is prized for its nutritional value and can be turned into smoked dishes, roasts, or soups. However, it must be thoroughly cooked since bear meat may carry parasites that can cause illness. The bear's hide is carefully removed and preserved for tanning, later used to make rugs, cloaks, or decorations. The bear's head or claws are often kept as trophies, showcasing the hunter's skill and achievement. Bear fat is also a valuable byproduct. It can be used to make balm for muscle pain or for cooking in some regions. Processing a bear carcass after a hunt requires not only skill, but also strict adherence to wildlife protection laws. That's why experienced hunters always act responsibly, ensuring nothing is wasted and no laws are broken.
Hello everyone! Wild boars are large wild animals. Some massive ones weigh up to 1,100 pounds and are called wild boar monsters. They originate from Europe, Asia, and North America. These creatures are aggressive and dangerous. So what have humans done to deal with them? Join Lionfarm as we explore how to handle giant wild boars in today's If you ever encounter a giant wild boar, the average person should turn and run fast for safety. But professional hunters don't run. They face them head-on. With weapons, skills, experience, and courage, they turn these dangerous encounters into intense and challenging battles. Over the centuries, wild boars, especially hybrids of feral pigs and domestic pigs, have become major threats in many states across the United States. They destroy crops, damage ecosystems, spread diseases, and compete for food with deer, rabbits, and other wildlife. Their rapid reproduction and adaptability make the battle against them even more difficult. In Texas, Georgia, and Alabama, wild boar hunting is not just a sport, it's a major source of income for local economies. Hunting tournaments and professional hunting tours attract thousands of enthusiasts, including international tourists, turning this activity into a unique and growing industry. To control these dangerous animals, hunters use traps, night hunts, advanced firearms, and their most valuable partners, hunting dogs. Trained to track scents and work closely with their owners, these dogs help locate and approach wild boars quickly and accurately, boosting the chances of success during tense chases. But it's not always easy. To take down a wild boar running at high speed from a distance, hunters must have exceptional marksmanship, experience, and composure in life or death moments. You may be surprised to learn that wild boars can weigh over 1,100 pounds. For instance, a 1,110-pound monster was taken down in Alabama, one of the largest ever hunted in the United States. While they may resemble domestic pigs, these animals are incredibly destructive, capable of wrecking entire fields in just a few nights. At Spartan Reserve in southern Michigan, a 500-pound wild boar was taken down after a heart-pounding chase. In northeastern Carolina, a hunter dropped a 550-pound boar with a single shot in the dark. The image of the fallen beast deep in the forest stunned and impressed all who witnessed it. Some pigs weighing up to 850 pounds required forklifts and trailers to move. Just imagine the sheer power they possess. If this were in Vietnam, local pubs would probably be thrilled to see these giant pigs. But kidding aside, wild boars pose a serious threat if left unchecked, and hunting them must follow local laws, regulations, and especially ethical hunting practices. Night hunting, when wild boars are most active, is both dangerous and an opportunity to control their numbers. Hunters use thermal scopes and night vision goggles to detect them in the dark. This isn't a game. It requires knowledge, skill, preparation, and awareness. Beginners should never hunt alone. Always go with someone experienced. Beyond hunting, it's just as important to protect the environment you pass through. Clean up all trash, bullet casings, food wrappers, and water bottles. Leave no human trace in the forest. Nature is a place to experience, not to destroy. And finally, always remember, wild boars, while dangerous, are still a part of the ecosystem. We hunt to control, not to wipe them out. Maintaining natural balance, respecting life, and acting ethically are what distinguish a true hunter from a harmful intruder. Now, let's move on to the most anticipated part of the video, Q&A with our viewers. One viewer asked, "What do hunters do after hunting a bear?" Great question. Lion Farm is here to explain.
After successfully hunting a bear, hunters go through a series of important steps to ensure the animal is used to its fullest value and nothing goes to waste. First, they often take photos or film the hunt to preserve the memory and serve as legal proof of the activity. Next, the bear is either field dressed or transported to a processing area if conditions allow. Bear meat, especially the shoulders and thighs, is prized for its nutritional value and can be turned into smoked dishes, roasts, or soups. However, it must be thoroughly cooked since bear meat may carry parasites that can cause illness. The bear's hide is carefully removed and preserved for tanning, later used to make rugs, cloaks, or decorations. The bear's head or claws are often kept as trophies, showcasing the hunter's skill and achievement. Bear fat is also a valuable byproduct. It can be used to make balm for muscle pain or for cooking in some regions. Processing a bear carcass after a hunt requires not only skill, but also strict adherence to wildlife protection laws. That's why experienced hunters always act responsibly, ensuring nothing is wasted and no laws are broken.
Have you ever imagined yourself lost in the dead of night, trap in hand, heart pounding, hunting wild boars while a tornado's siren howls like it's ripping the sky apart? Welcome to Madison, Mississippi, a mysterious lowland where a terrifying storm swept away homes and millions of feral hogs suddenly emerged from the darkness. Today, Lion Farm takes you on a breathless adventure. When storm season hits farms across Mississippi, nature's fury leaves devastation in its wake. Trees topple, roads are cut off, and iron fences, once the last line of defense, are now just shards of twisted metal. This story begins back in the 1980s, when wild boars started thriving in the ancient forests of the United States. Now, they cause over $500 million in damage each year to agriculture, a staggering figure. On some nights, up to 33 are captured, but if even a few survive, they'll return with a new litter, and the nightmare begins all over again. As the wild hog population keeps growing rapidly, hunters have had to develop new strategies, using fermented corn as bait and setting up motion sensor cameras to monitor the traps day and night. But the results don't come easy. Choosing the right location for the trap takes 3 to 5 days of tracking footprints and their active hours. Often the forest edge near a water source, or an area previously routed by hogs. The trap is placed with precision. When it comes to trapping wild hogs, success or failure depends heavily on the gait. Seasoned hunters in Mississippi will tell you one gait is enough. Multiple gaits only confuse the hogs and cause them to scatter. The ideal gate should be made of reinforced steel, about 3 feet wide and 2 feet tall, just big enough for the whole herd to charge in without hesitation. If you had to build your own hog trap, would you go with a single steel gate or try something else? Share your thoughts in the comments below. One important thing to remember in this hunt is that the ground can sink up to 1 foot deep, enough to swallow a pickup truck, or collapse the trap if not properly set. This kind of terrain isn't meant for solo missions. That's why most hunters work in teams of 2 to 4 people to help transport the traps, check equipment, and handle unexpected situations. To ensure safety, they begin by reinforcing the trap with heavy-duty steel, anchoring it deep into the mud and tying it securely to nearby tree roots. That way, even if the ground softens, the trap stays firmly in place when the gate slams shut. Traps are usually set about 2 to 3 hours before sunset, right when the herd starts to leave their dens to forage. Hunters also rely on surveillance cameras to save time and avoid unnecessary trips. After the hunting season, they've managed to capture hundreds of wild boars. Fencing off the area is just a temporary solution. Next, we move on to the most anticipated part of the video, Q&A from the audience. One viewer asked, which crocodile species has the highest economic value after being hunted? Lionfarm is happy to answer your question. Among all crocodile species worldwide, the saltwater crocodile is considered to have the highest economic value. That's because of its large size, thick yet soft skin, and high demand in luxury fashion for making handbags, leather wallets, belts, and designer shoes. A fully grown saltwater crocodile can reach up to 19 feet in length, weigh over a ton, and its skin alone can fetch a high price. Besides the skin, crocodile meat is rich in protein and low in cholesterol. It's considered a nutritious food and is gaining popularity in the market. Additionally, crocodile bones are used in traditional medicine, while their teeth and heads can be crafted into unique souvenirs. However, it's important to note that hunting wild crocodiles is now heavily regulated under international conventions like CITES to protect them from extinction. Therefore, most commercial crocodiles today come from professionally managed farms with proper care and processing systems. Developing a sustainable crocodile farming industry not only brings high economic value, but also helps preserve rare genetic resources. Have you ever wondered why wild boars continue to rampage freely, even though steel cage traps, considered the ultimate weapon, are in place? Is there a hidden secret being concealed, or is this method just a useless illusion? Join Lionfarm as we uncover the surprising truth in this video. What you're about to see may be hard to believe. Wild boars have become one of the most destructive invasive species in the United States. Their population has skyrocketed from 2 million in 1990 to nearly 9 million in 2019, spreading across at least 39 states. They cause serious damage to crops, estimated at around $1.5 billion each year. Due to their rapid reproduction rate, at least 60% of the wild boar population in an area must be removed annually to halt their growth. If action isn't taken now, the situation will only get worse. They're multiplying uncontrollably. In response, the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, along with various state agencies, has allocated millions of dollars to tackle this issue. In 2024, Texas and Oklahoma approved the use of chemical control methods to reduce the wild boar population.
Fatigue, brain fog, a lot of weakness, keeping that balance.
One of the most widely used strategies today is cage trapping. However, many farmers are not using these traps effectively, resulting in wasted effort. These intelligent animals quickly learn to avoid traps. Let's break down the process and identify the common mistakes that prevent farmers from achieving the results they hope for. Cage traps are the most widely recommended method for large-scale wild boar control. With a diameter of about 30 to 40 feet, these traps can capture an entire herd at once, reducing the chance of escape and avoiding learned avoidance behavior in the future. Traps need to be at least 4 feet high to prevent boars from jumping out. The trapdoor should be remotely triggered rather than closed manually to increase the likelihood of catching the entire group rather than just a few. The materials used must be strong steel instead of weaker materials, as wild boars are extremely agile and can escape poorly reinforced traps. Even a perfectly designed trap is useless if placed in the wrong location. Research from Texas A&M University shows that trap placement plays a critical role in trapping success. The ideal location is near water sources where signs of wild boar activity, such as rooted soil, wallowing marks, or footprints, are abundant. Pre-baiting the area for 3 to 7 days helps the boars get used to the spot and feel safe entering the trap, boosting capture rates up to 60%. Fermented corn soaked for 7 days is highly attractive bait. In warmer seasons, watermelon, peaches, or apples are also effective. Special high-protein baits can attract large groups as well. One of the biggest mistakes farmers make is setting traps without observing wild boar behavior carefully. These animals are nocturnal and most active between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. That's why, during the first few nights, the trap door should be left open, so the boars can freely enter and exit, helping them feel safe. Once at least 80% of the herd is familiar with the trap and enters it regularly, the door should be activated to maximize the number of boars caught. If only a few are captured, the rest will continue reproducing and return in greater numbers. Another common mistake is closing the trap too early. If wild boars sense danger before trusting the area, they'll never come back. Leaving a trapped boar inside too long also signals danger to the rest of the group. Therefore, it's important to responsibly check and empty traps immediately after a catch. Moving the trap to a different location after a few months is also an effective way to prevent the boars from learning to avoid it. Now, let's get to the most anticipated part of the video. Audience Q&A. One viewer asked, which country is most affected by invasive red foxes? Lionfarm is happy to answer your question. The country most heavily impacted by red fox invasion is Australia. Red foxes are not native to Australia. They were brought by the British in the 19th century for sport hunting purposes. However, once released into the wild, they rapidly multiplied and became a serious threat to Australia's native ecosystem. With their sharp hunting instincts, red foxes have contributed to the decline of many rare species, such as small kangaroos, flightless native birds, and rare reptiles. The Australian government has had to spend millions of dollars annually on control programs, using traps, poisons, and biological fences to stop the spread of red foxes. They've also caused economic damage to the livestock industry by attacking lambs and poultry on farms. The red fox story in Australia is a clear example of how invasive species can completely disrupt an ecosystem if not properly controlled, and a cautionary tale about interfering with nature without considering long-term consequences. Welcome to Lionfarm, where thrilling stories from the wild farm are revealed. Have you ever heard of wild boars weighing over 500 pounds, ferocious and powerful? Where do they come from, and how do hunters face these beasts? The answer will surprise you. In the United States, wild boars have become a serious issue, with around 6 million spread across 35 states. Each year, they cause an estimated $2.5 billion in damages to agriculture, forestry, and livestock. Wild boars often invade farmlands in search of food, wreaking havoc on crops. They can dig up soil like a plow, destroy plants, and reduce agricultural yields. In addition, wild boars prey on native animals, threatening biodiversity and disrupting ecosystems. To control their population, many states in the United States have legalized and even encouraged the hunting of wild boars. At the Spartan Hunting Preserve in southern Michigan, hunters regularly organize hunts for these massive boars. Most of the wild boars here are hybrids, descended from domestic pigs, so they resemble farm pigs in appearance. Skilled hunters can take down a boar weighing up to 500 pounds with a single well-placed shot. In Texas, the annual W. Coochie Hog Contest attracts many professional hunters. In the 2022 competition, the winner brought down a boar weighing around 460 pounds and took home a prize of $77,000. These large boars often require forklifts for transportation, showing just how massive and strong they are. Besides guns, some hunters use bows and arrows to hunt wild boars, demonstrating incredible skill and patience. Trapping is also widely used, with sturdy iron or steel cage traps baited with grains to lure the boars. Once caught, the boars are collected the following morning. Hunting wild boars at night is a major challenge. Hunters must use thermal or infrared scopes to detect and take down targets in low light conditions. Since boars are more active at night, this method has proven to be more effective. Before participating in wild boar hunting in the United States, you must have a valid hunting license and comply with each state's regulations. It's also important to check your gear, ensure your weapons are in good working condition, and wear protective equipment like goggles and safety clothing to protect yourself and those around you. Due to the uncontrolled growth of wild boars, many chefs, farmers, and suppliers in the United States have begun turning them into a sustainable source of protein. At Daidu Restaurant in Austin, Texas, wild boar meat has been added to the menu, turning the problem into a business opportunity while reducing the species' negative impact. Beyond the economic and environmental damage, wild boars also spread many dangerous diseases to both humans and livestock. They can carry leptospirosis, toxoplasmosis, brucellosis, swine flu, salmonella, hepatitis, and E. coli. Notably, African swine fever poses a major threat to the swine industry in the United States. Wild boars in the United States are a complex issue affecting various aspects of life and the environment. Controlling and managing this species requires close cooperation between the government, farmers, and communities, along with the use of creative and effective methods to minimize harm and maximize potential benefits. Now, let's move on to the most anticipated part of the video, the Q&A session with our viewers. A viewer asked, "What is the most effective method for the Australian government to control wild dogs?" Lionfarm is happy to answer your question. In Australia, wild dingoes and feral dog hybrids pose a serious threat to livestock, especially sheep and young calves. The Australian government has implemented several effective control measures, with three main methods receiving high praise: the dingo fence, trapping, and biological poison baiting. The dingo fence is one of the longest fences in the world, built to prevent wild dogs from entering key livestock regions in southern and eastern Australia. This method has significantly reduced attacks on livestock. In addition, the government uses specialized steel traps and automatic surveillance cameras to monitor and capture wild dogs in managed areas. Another important method involves using bait containing a targeted biological toxin that kills wild dogs with minimal impact on native wildlife. This poison is placed in meat baits and distributed in high-risk areas according to a strict plan and under ecological supervision to ensure safety. These programs are supported by public awareness campaigns that emphasize the need to control wild dog populations in order to protect agriculture and native ecosystems. This is a prime example of how humans can protect the economy while maintaining ecological balance when wildlife and farming come into conflict. Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered what lurks in the deep forests where giant wild boars hide? Today, Lionfarm will take you on a thrilling hunt where the secrets of these giants are revealed. Get ready to be captivated. On June 17, 2004, in Alapaha, Georgia, United States, Chris Griffin shot down a wild boar nicknamed Hogzilla. The boar was initially reported to be about 12 feet long and weighed over 1,000 pounds. In the Ural region of Russia, a hunter took down a wild boar weighing about 1,179 pounds in 2011. This boar was believed to be of the Eurasian wild boar breed, known for its large size in Northeast Asia. In 2015, a hunter in Texas, United States, used a bow and arrow to take down a wild boar weighing 826 pounds and about 7 feet long. This was one of the largest wild boar hunting records using traditional methods. In New South Wales, Australia, a 485-pound wild boar was killed by a hunter in 2011. While not as large as the records in the United States or Russia, it was one of the largest wild boars ever recorded in Australia. According to a normal calendar, picking the four-edged stones was a pure exhibition of the infinite power, fertile and innocent. But did you know? These beasts are not only terrors of the deep forest, they are also at the heart of brutal survival battles between humans and nature. Just imagine, one small mistake during a hunt, and you could become the prey instead of the hunter. Some professional hunters report annual incomes of up to $50,000 from supplying wild boar meat and organizing hunting tours. The largest wild boar ever auctioned sold for $10,000 in 2019 due to its size and distinctive fur. According to a 2023 report from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, the state trapped and eliminated over 36,000 wild boars in 1 year through population control programs. In 2021, in the state of Queensland, trapping programs recorded capturing about 100 wild boars in one night using large net trap systems combined with bait, according to a report from the Queensland government. In the United States, feral hogs are an invasive species causing significant agricultural damage. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, USAA, about 1 million are killed each year through trapping and hunting. Of that, cage traps account for 30 to 40% of the control methods, meaning around 300,000 to 400,000 are caught with traps annually. Cage traps and snare traps are the two most common methods. In Australia, smart cage traps with sensor technology and cameras have helped capture an average of 50 to 70 hogs per deployment, according to a 2023 study from the University of Queensland. Hunting wild boars is not just a sport. It's also a method of population control in areas where they cause harm, such as the United States and Australia. However, uncontrolled hunting can threaten natural populations, especially in regions like Europe and Asia. In Europe, legal wild boar hunting comes with strict regulations that teach younger generations about law compliance and protecting natural resources. A United Nations report on the wildlife trade revealed that illegal hunting and trapping generate between $7 billion and $24 billion annually, with wild boars contributing significantly to markets in Asia and Africa. Hunting and trapping wild boars is a centuries-old activity that continues on a large scale globally. Data from various countries highlights the necessity of controlling this species, but also presents the challenge of sustainable management. Welcome to the creative and captivating introduction of our Lion Farm channel team. To start, we would like to introduce a passionate screenwriting talent, a young woman who never stops exploring and innovating in the field of agriculture. She is not only an exceptional scriptwriter with the ability to craft profound stories, but also a dedicated researcher of cutting-edge and sustainable technologies from around the world. For her, scriptwriting is not just a job, but a journey of passion, breathing life into every video we create. Next, we want to introduce the heart and soul of our channel, the channel owner and video editing expert. He is fully dedicated, overcoming every challenge to produce the highest quality videos for our audience. With a burning passion, he constantly drives the team to deliver unique and inspiring experiences to viewers. We hope that in the journey ahead, you will continue to love and support the Lion Farm channel. Sincerely, thank you.